or being lied about. Don't deal in lies. And we'll go 3 phonemes at a time. O, B, E. Or B. Or B. Or B. 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 E. E. B. Eing. E. E. Ng. Eing. Eing. Yingl. Ingl. Ngla. Ngla. Lie. Lie. I'd. I'd. Id. 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 Dub. Dub. D. B. Ba. B. A. Ba. Bow. B. A. U. Bow. Out. 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 Utd. Utd. Td. 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 Do. D. U. Down. Own. Own. Und. Und. Don't. Deal. Eel. Deal. Td. Td. Deal. Don't deal. Or being lied about. Don't deal in. Eel in. Lin. In l. In la. In lie. Lies. Is. And that's the end of the line. Izor. You could go on to the next line. Lizor. 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 Or being hated. It. I'll try and do those 3 phonemes again. It. It. Eight. Eight. It. Tid. 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 Hated. Or being hated. Idd. Hated don't. U. Iddo. 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 Hated dough. Hated dough. don't, hated, don't, tg, it, give way. I'm going to go back to just showing you the phonemes one by one and linking them without going back over the 3 each time. Give way. Give way. Give way. Wait. Wait. Who? It. Who? To. To. He. To. Hating. 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 Or being hated, don't give way to hating. To hating. I did a schwa there on the t, because it's in the unstressed position. Dee-dum, dee-dum, dee-dum. Don't give way to hating. But you could say, don't give way to hating, and do the oo. Just wouldn't be very long. To hate, but you could make it longer. You see, these things are flexible with the rhythm. Some of the those unstressed syllables, the words that are unstressed, you can change some of the vowels into a schwa. But equally, you could just pronounce them perfectly and still keep it with that dee-dum rhythm. Now I'm just going to do that line. In fact, I'll do the next one. The next line, and I'll just hit the vowels 3 times. And when my mouth is on the vowel position, it shouldn't move. And, and, yet, don't, look, too good, ooh, too. See there, it's sort of too, and my lips are tightening up towards the end. Now, is that in the book? No, not exactly. Maybe I could try going straight to the where I end. Too. That ooh. If I try to arrive there. Look too. Getting a whistle there. Too good. Too. If I do the air, it makes that whistle. But I want to do the air to connect them with air. Don't with the glottis going and like staying tense. You want it to so the vocal folds go rather than like that. Too good. Too good. No. Talked. Wise. Wise, you've got I. Wise. Wise. And we'll have a look at the next paragraph. And I'll do a couple more of those, and then I'm going to start speeding up. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. And this will help to get those vowel shapes really clear and to feel the separation of the phonation and the mouth shape for the vowel. Obviously, the mouth doesn't make the vowel sound. The phonation makes the sound. The mouth changes the shape of the sound waves. If you, again, I'm doing that you. If you, it just sounds too pinched if I come in with that ooh at the very start. I think there is a little bit of a you. I think that's okay. And I might even say it's optimal. If you can think and not make thoughts. And you see the way I'm doing the airflow as well. It's all linking. The air didn't stop going out that whole time. Make thoughts. Make thoughts. I'm almost out of air there. So to breathe in, you just with the belly. Something else you can do is just take a deep breath into the chest and shoulders and then be exhaling gradually. And then you don't have to go into the diaphragm every time and be squeezing the diaphragm. You have to squeeze the chest and shoulders. So that takes a bit of effort, but depending on how you look on it or look at it, I find I get a bit more out of breath, especially with the that exercise, because my diaphragm's having to squeeze a lot. So if I'm using that chest and shoulders, then I can just now I'm down to the diaphragm. You can meet with. Refill. A bit more into the chest and shoulders. Try and disaster. Make sure when you've got those unvoiced consonants that you don't phonate all the way up to them, like I want it to be disas instead of as. Disaster. And treat those and that's one you might want to do that 3 phoneme slider for that transition. Treat the eat those treat those treat those, treat those, treat those, treat those. You see the way it's tripping out? How that 3-phoneme slider will help you with those awkward transitions, like at the ends of words going into another word, or difficult phonemes that doesn't feel like they sync well together. Do the 3-phoneme slider. Just zoom right in and go phoneme 1, phoneme 2, phoneme 3. Phoneme 1, phoneme 2, phoneme 3. And then try to phoneme 1, 2, and 3, like in one smooth arc. Phoneme 1, 2, 3, like that. If we try another one. And if I just do the 3 phonemes again. So you do them individually. And and I'm seeing what my mouth is doing to get through all those positions. And then I've got and treat. So we got t. Then there's a r. D-tr. And then we've got e. Tree. And then we can just go back over that little connection and try and get it, those individual phonemes. And tree. And they should feel a little easier to transition through. And tree. And treat. See, the first one just then I did treat, and I kind of phonated up to the T. Treat. Try to treat. Treat. Then and treat. Try to go through those phonemes smoothly. And tree. And treat. Those. Zimposters. Imposters. Imposters just the same. Just the same. Aim. Same. And treat those 2 imposters. Posters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, and I'm just going to go fairly fast. I'm not going to go over the individual phonemes. I'll do the phonemes individually. Individually. That sounded really London. Individually. And I'm going to connect them all together and try to just notice now, if you've been watching the rest of the video up to now, and you've watched some of the previous ones, then see how the mouth movements I'm hitting each individual position as I'm going through. This is like, this, by the way, this is like the linear. Obviously, as I'm doing it, it's all just going out like that. But if you could imagine all of the phonemes coming out of my mouth, like if I have twisted, t, u, ist, id, twisted, and then those phonemes, t, u, ist, id, and they're all lining up out one after the other, out in a stream like that. And if you take that stream, that's what I mean when I'm going like that, one after the other. It's that stream as it's coming out. And then my mouth is just moving itself around, sending each phoneme, the next phoneme out, the next phoneme out, the next phoneme out, trying to connect them all with air and phonation. If they're voiced sounds, then connect them with phonation. If one is an unvoiced sound and one's a voiced sound, then you have to either, depending which side it's on, if it's an unvoiced going into a voiced, then you have to stop the phonation partway through, but keep the exhalation going. If there's a voiced going into an unvoiced, then you have to stop the phonation and keep the exhalation going. Yeah, I think I got it wrong. The other way around. So if it's unvoiced going into a voiced, like in twisted, you've got is, then end the phonation, but keep the exhalation. Twist. If it's an unvoiced going into a voiced, like twisted, tid, ti, then ti, ti. Be exhaling after the T, ti, and then phonate a little later on. Don't phonate immediately, twisted, did. Try ti, hid. And then because D is a voiced, and I is obviously voiced, then id, etc. So try to spot on my mouth every individual phoneme. Twisted, id, but, and if I run out of air, I'll go back to the middle of the previous word so that you can see the linking. Id, by, knaves, to make, trap, or you can use the schwa, fools, twisted by knaves, to make a trap for fools. Twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Just a little seating adjustment. Or watch the things you gave your life to. Or watch the things you gave your life to. Broken, 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 broken. Try to see if you can hear how I'm not phonating all the way up to the K. It kind of sounds like I am, and sometimes I can't even really tell, but broken, broken, broken. Do you hear that? I'm going to do the 3 and stoop and be. I find it helps with the connectors as well. And that airflow, because the diaphragm is continuously Oop, ha ha ha. And you might need a little extra squeeze. Oop, on that P. Oop, ha ha ha. And stoop and build up with worn out tools, and stoop and build 'em up with worn out tools.